Hello, welcome to Code with Gaurav. Today we are going to discuss stock spin problem in this video. So, as you have already know the leaders in an array problem, if you don't know that problem, then first of all go to that problem. The link will be in the description also. So check that problem out first, then come to this problem. So as we know that in leader in array problem, what we do that we check that a element is called leader if all the elements on the right of it are smaller than
that
that
particular
particular
element.
element.
Yeah.
So that element is called leader.
Yes.
But in this problem, first of all, we are going to check reverse leader. That is not a profound term,
Right
but yeah,
leader. Yeah.
we are going to check left leader. So as you can observe that there is only one left leader, right? That is 100. Okay, so this problem is not that we have to find the left leader. It's not like that. It is also a bit more thing added to it. That is, for every element, we have to find that even if it is not a leader, then it's fine. But you have to at least check that how many elements are smaller than that element on the left of its side. So, for example, 75. If we talk about 75, this element, then it is evident that it is not a leader because 80 and 100 both are greater than 75 and on the left side of it. So it is not a left leader. 75 is not a left leader, but you can at least give us an answer that how many elements are consecutively less than 75. So we have 60, 70 and 8
Again 60.
again 60. So these three elements are less than 75. So uh, in this case you have to output the array, obviously, because for every element you will have an answer, right?
Yeah.
That how many elements are lesser than that element consecutively. So for every element you have to print an answer. For example, for 100 including that element also, so
Yes.
we'll count from 1 initially. So 100, the answer is 1. For 80,
Answer
again
is
the
also
answer is 1.
one.
For
And in case of
60,
60, answer is also
70
always
will
one.
find a 2.
Yeah.
75 will find a 4 because including 75 we have 4 elements like
Yeah.
this. So the basic idea here, why this problem is called stock spin problem, because uh, when you have a basic understand about business, so when we buy a stock, we buy it when it has a very lower price, and we when we sell a stock, we sell it when the price of that particular stock goes
High.
up to the highest amount. So in that case, in this problem, for every element we have to calculate that how much is the span of that stock, right? So for example, let's read out the problem first. The stock span problem is a financial problem when we have a series of n daily price stocks for a stock, price codes for a stock, and we need to calculate the span of the stock's price for all n days. The right, for all n days we have to calculate the span of that stock. The span Si of the stock price on a given day I is defined as the maximum number of consecutive days just before the given day for which the price of the stock on the current day is less than or equal to the price of on the given day. For example, in an array of 7 days, this is an example basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are given a particular stock, and for that you have different prices, n prices for n different days. So that stock is on the first day it is of 100 rupees, for example. On the second day it is of 80 rupees. On the third day 60, like this. So what is the span of the stock for every day, right? So
Here you can also notice one thing, like for 60, like for the second 60, we have the answer that is 1. Why? Because we have to check the consecutive, like the element must be in a consecutive manner.
yeah, we cannot output the answer that
Yeah.
60 is less than equals to 60.
Yeah.
So we can output 2 in that case, including itself and this element, because we are having a greater in between of both the numbers. So it must be consecutive. Now let's move on to the code.
Okay, so what will be the naive approach? Naive approach is easy. We'll run a to loop, and for every element we check that the particular element is smaller than to how much of its element, like from how much from its left element. So we'll run a loop for particular element, and then we check that particular element. That particular element is lesser than number of elements, like how much number of elements. So uh, this is the naive approach.
So we are going to iterate through the whole array by using this loop, and for every element at index I, we are going to have a loop from integer j equals to I minus 1 to greater than equals to 0 and j minus minus to the starting of the array. And we are going to check for every element, we'll take a variable count equals to 1. I think now you got the idea where we are initializing the variable count by 1, because we have to include that particular day price also. If array of j is less than array of I, then increment the count, else break the loop, because we are talking about consecutive elements, and for every element we are going to print the value of count. So in this approach, we have not used an extra array for the answers, because we are printing after every calculation itself.
Yes. So here the time complexity is O(n) square.
So also the constraints are lesser in this problem. So we can try to run this approach also. So now let's move on to the efficient approach using stack. So as convention, we are going to push the first element into the stack. Actually, we do not push the elements, we push the indexes of the elements into the stack. So 0, and in bracket I'm writing 100 for reference. Okay, so it is default. Now iterating for from index I equals to 1, from this index to the last, we see that we our first element is 80. So what we do, if current element is less than top of the element value at the top of the stack, then we push that element, push current. Okay, else we start to pop elements out of the stack while pop. I'll explain this concept in a while, but let's dry run and check how we develop this concept. So now comes 80. So 80 is less than top of the stack, 80 is less than 100. So we push 80 into the stack, right? We are index of 80. For reference, I'm writing 80. Yeah. So now 60. 60 is also less than top of the stack, as 60 is less than 80. So we also push 60 into the stack. Yeah. Now comes 70. So 70 is greater than the top of the stack, because 70 is greater than 60. So we start to pop elements out of the stack. And why we are doing this now, I think you are starting to get a little bit idea of it, that now we see 70, right? And all the elements are available into the stack, and we start to pop elements out of the stack by seeing that while they are less than the current element. So we pop out 60 because 60 is less than 70, and that is what we need to do, right? We have to find the elements on the left of the side of the current element which are less than or equals to the current element. So we start to pop 60, and we do count plus plus, we increase the counter, right? Now the computation of 70 is done, and at last we push 70 also into the stack. The computation of 70 is done. Now next element is this one, 60. Now again 60 is less than top of the stack, 60 is less than 70, so we push it into the stack. Now next element is 75. Now it's a very good thing to observe here that 75 is greater than top of the stack, 75 is greater than 60. So we now start to pop elements out of the stack. So we see 60 is less than 75, that is the top of the stack is less than 75. So we pop 60 out of the stack. Again 70 is less than 75, so we pop 70 also out of the stack. Now 80, no, 80 is not less than 75, so we stop here. And what we did, we incremented the count by 2, right? When we popped 60 and we popped 70, we incremented the count by 2, right? So yeah, and also one more element is left. So that's where we need the indexes, right? Why? How? Because now you can observe that the computation of 75 is over. Now we find that 75, the top of the stack is now greater than 75. So now what we do, we compute current index minus the top index at the top of the stack. So current index is 5, right? The index of 75 is 5. I'm writing it here for reference, right? So index of 75 is 5 minus index at the top of the stack, that is 1 here. So 5 minus 1,
That is 4.
gives us 4. So yeah, so the answer is also 4. 75 including itself, 60 is also less than 75, 70 and also 60. So that's why we were taking and indexes into consideration rather than the element itself. Why? Because it is very easy to calculate by subtracting the index of the both elements, right? So now we move to 85. So yeah, before moving to 85, we are going to push 75 also into the stack because the answer is now calculated. So at last we push the element which the answer has been already computed. Now we move to next element 85. 85 again is greater than top of the stack, right? 85 is greater than 75. So we start to pop elements out of the stack. So now you may observe that 75 itself is less than 4 elements. Consecutive is greater than consecutive 4 elements on the left of it, right? And so, and also 85 is greater than 75. So what will, how can we calculate the answer of 85? We can do 1 plus answer of 75, right?
Yeah.
We can use answer of previous element.
Yes.
That will be used in the while we are using the indexes of the element. Let's see how. So now we observe that 85 is greater than top of the stack, 85 is greater than 75. So we start to pop elements out of the stack. We pop 75,
We pop 80.
now we see 80 is also
Less than.
we pop 75, now we see 80 is also less than 85. So we pop this also out of the stack. Now how we calculate the answer? We do it using subtracting the index of the current element minus index on the top of the stack. So index of current element is 6, and what is the index on the top of the stack? It's 0. 6 minus 0 gives us answer 6. So you can also see 1, it is less than or equals to itself also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right. So I hope, guys, that this approach is pretty much clear to you. And if it is not, then please try to solve it yourself and um try solving one or two test cases by yourself. Now let's dive into the code. So we're gonna make stack named S, and we're gonna iterate through the array. Oh, sorry. First of all, we are gonna push the first index of first element into the stack. So as dot push 0, which is basically always 0, and we'll start iterating from index 1. to the last of the index, and we check that if array of I is less, whether array of I is less than array of s dot top, right? Because notice that array, the stack is including the indexes only, not the element. So that's why I'm doing array of s dot top, right? If the current element is less than the top of the stack, what we do?
simply
We push
the
that
elements.
element into the stack, not that element, the index of that element.
Yeah.
So s dot push I only, not array of I.
Yes. Now come else part. If element is greater than the top of the stack,
then we start to pop out elements of
Yeah.
the stack until either the stack is empty
or we didn't find a element which is greater than.
yeah, we stop finding elements that is less than the current element.
Yeah.
And array of s dot top should always be less than equals to
Yeah.
current element. Why less than equals to? Because it is said here the price of the stock on the current day is less than or equals to the price of the given day. So that's why I am writing less than equals to. I'm going to pop elements out of the stack, and I do. Now, one more important thing to observe here, that we always cannot do current in answer equals to current index of current element minus the index at the top of the stack. We always cannot do this, because in case the stack is empty, then it will throw us a segmentation fault, right? So uh, what will be the case in which the stack will be empty? For example, the case will be like this: when after 100 we see only greater numbers.
Yeah.
For example, 110.
Yeah.
Again 200 for example. So in this case, we by default push 100 into the stack. It is already written. Now next our next element is 110. So 110 is greater than top of the stack, so we pop 100 out of the stack and we push the current element. And what will be the answer? uh, yeah, what will be the answer? Index of current element 1 minus, before will not, we have popped 100 out of the stack. Now we calculate answer, then we push the current element into the stack.
Yeah.
So we have popped out 100. Now we calculate answer. What is the answer? Current index of current element, that is index of 110, 1 minus index at the top of the stack. So now
that is 0.
Stack is empty. So s dot top will throw us an error. So this is the case where the stack will be empty. So in those cases, what we are going to do, we are going to simply write answer equals to index. I'll print. First of all, I'll check if stack is empty. Then I'll print I only, index of the current element. Index of the current element is fine. Else, out. I'll print current index minus. And in these cases, when the current element is less than the top of the stack, then in those cases, what will be the answer? The answer will be 1 only, because uh, the current element is less than the element on the left side. So there is no element on the left side that is smaller than the current element.
Yeah.
So the answer will be default 1, including itself only. So we'll push also, and we'll print 1. Yeah, so actually we'll not do I directly, we'll do I plus 1. Why? Because we are in C++ we have indexing starting from zero based indexing. So for example, in this 110, the answer will be 2 itself, and the left element 100. So answer will be 2. And what's the index of the element 110? It is 1. So answer will be I plus 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. Yeah. So we'll print I plus 1, and in the else part it will be I minus s dot top, because as at the uh, index s dot top we have a greater element, right? So we do I minus s dot top, that will include the current element I also, and up till s dot top not including s dot top. Yeah, so that's why I minus s dot top. And also there's very important thing that I missed, that I have to print 1 in the starting, because uh, for the starting element the answer will always be one, because there is no other element on the left of it, and the answer will be itself only. So always you will find the answer of first element will be 1 itself. So I missed that, so that's why I got the wrong answer. Now it is giving us the right answer. This is the final code. So I hope you got the stock span problem very well. So thank you for watching this video.
Yeah.